Hey everyone, Mort at 13, and I got the bell back on my bike. This one's got a compass, so it's actually it actually serves a function. My last bell was just a bell, and it was just for a laugh. But this bell was like the same price. It was only like $2, and it's got a compass that works all right. I was trying to use the compass when I was on the racetrack, but it just kept spinning and spinning, and I kept crashing and crashing because I kept staring at it. And I considered taking it off at that point, but I didn't. Okay, how to warm up a motorcycle. That's the topic of this video, how to warm up a motorcycle. Because the majority of engine damage comes from cold starts and from overuse while the engine's cold. Yeah, it's like the vast majority of all engine damage comes from like the first 30 seconds of use, or the first minute or two of use. Yeah, probably like the first few minutes. Anyways. First, my bike's already warmed up because I was just riding it, and it doesn't have a temperature gauge, so that kind of sucks. But there's a couple things you can do. My last bike was a CBR 600 RR, and it did have a temperature gauge. And I paid attention to it, so I learned a couple of things. First of all, when you start your bike, don't rev it. Don't give it revs. And if your bike has a choke, use the absolute minimum necessary to start the bike. If you pull the choke all the way out and you start up and it goes, you've already just damaged your bike. High RPMs when the engine is cold is a bad thing. So you start the bike, don't give it gas. When you first start a bike that's fuel injected, and most bikes nowadays are, it will automatically go to a slightly higher RPMs, maybe about, mine's right now at 900. Maybe when I first start my bike it goes to about 1300 or 1400 or something to help the engine warm up. And it does this until it feels the engine is warm enough, or something, until the gas is flowing smoothly. And then the RPMs will drop down. When the RPMs drop down, that means you can ride it. And some of you are thinking, well, should I ride it then, or should I just let it sit for a few more minutes to warm up, since you just said letting it warm up is very important? No, you should ride it as soon as you can. The reason for this is an engine is designed to warm up while moving, because you need the wind to distribute the heat evenly. If a motorcycle is sitting and warming up, then there's parts of the engine that are getting hot and other parts that are just cold, because you don't have any wind to distribute the heat. So what you end up having is you got half your engine overheating and the other half still cold, and that's not a good thing. So yes, so you just start up the bike, and it honestly takes about, I don't know, I'm guesstimating, maybe about 40 seconds, 40 seconds to a minute or so before the RPMs drop down, and that means it's okay to ride. On super sport bikes like the CBR 600, if you try to ride them right away, they won't even go. They'll ride, but they'll like shake. They'll be like they'll shake, because I don't even know why, but there's something that like needs to heat up that doesn't heat up, and the bike will like protest. I've tried it. I've tried to start up a CBR 600 and ride right away, and it won't do it. It'll do it, but the bike will literally like just like jerk along, and it doesn't like it. So what you do is she's talking about my camera. So what you do is you start it up, wait for the RPMs to drop. That means you can ride. It does not mean you can ride it hard, because the engine is still cold. It honestly takes a while for the engine to heat up. I knew this from my CBR because I'd watched the temperature gauge. I would estimate that you have to ride your motorcycle calmly for about 2 or 3 kilometers, maybe 1 or 2 miles, before 1.5, 2 miles, before the engine actually heats up enough so that you can start like going hard on the throttle without hurting your engine. Yeah, see, he's got a turning light, but this asshole goes in the turning lane to cut to the front. He doesn't want to turn, but the turning lane is usually more empty than going straight lane. But it's a Mercedes, so he's allowed to be an asshole. This scooter's cruising, eh? I'm not used to a scooter pulling away from the light quicker than him. I think he's doing it on purpose so that his daughter could get a show or something. He's like, watch this, honey, when the light goes green, I'll bend it, and then he'll fly by us. Oh, yeah. Is this? It is. This is Dragon Boat Festival weekend. Yeah, it's the this weekend is Dragon Boat Festival, meaning that there's going to be dragon boat races on this lake. And people from all over this part of the country come here. Traffic is really insane here today. I'm surprised it's not already. It's really odd. Usually for this holiday, this whole road is like bumper to bumper. Yep. So so the correct way to warm up a bike is to start it, wait for the RPMs to drop by themselves, ride it very casually, calmly for about 2 miles or 3 kilometers, 2 kilometers or a mile and a bit, and then you can start riding it hard. And they say even if your engine is even if your engine is hot and you stop for like 10 minutes, the engine's still going to be hot when you start it back up again, but you still shouldn't go hard right away because the engine is all seeped down to the bottom. The oil in the engine is all seeped down to the bottom, and you need to give it a bit of RPMs to circulate it. So I would say if you've already been riding for a bit and your engine's already warm, and you start up the bike, say you're in front of your buddy's house, and you want to do like a wheelie as you leave his house, you need to just rev it, start it up, wait 20 seconds, rev it a bit to circulate the oil, because the engine's already warm, so it's okay if you rev it a bit. And then you can like pull away and do a wheelie. Does that sound right? No, it doesn't really sound right, because if you're revving it a bit, you're still bringing it up to higher RPMs when the oil hasn't circulated properly yet. So let's revise that. Start it up in front of your buddy's house. Then just, let it run for like a minute or something. And then you can probably just go hard right away, because the engine isn't actually cold. You just let it idle for that minute to circulate the oil. There you go. That makes more sense. And I'm going to the racetrack, and I'll probably record once I get there.